Okay. Um, just a quick video. Sorry the lighting is so weird. It's just, yeah, it's natural lighting, and also one of my lights seems like it's really blinking a lot. Anyways, last night, I'm actually still working on my appeal. I don't know if they're going to. I started submitting it July 4th. It was due July 5th. I stayed awake all night trying to do it. And I'm still kind of going through things, but I actually waited a whole year before I decided to submit a complaint. Not that I wanted to wait a whole year, it's just like kind of for many reasons I waited a year. But I just wanted to comment briefly on I think sometimes physicians, this is just my impression and I don't know if it's true, my observation, but I wonder, or if maybe this is just strictly Canadian medicine, like they don't have as many guidelines. I don't know. Or I don't want to say as many guidelines, or they're just, I don't know, it's a cultural thing. But about in 2018, I lived, this was shortly after I moved to Canada. I lived in a house, it was a townhouse actually, where I had two male roommates, and that looks really bad. But I only lived there because my job at the time was doing 24-hour shifts, and sometimes I was only there for 3 days a week, or sometimes one week I was only there for like 2 days. So I felt like I didn't really live there, and we all had different schedules. One was one of the people there was a resident physician, and another person was the other guy who was the owner of the house was a liquor inspector, and he oftentimes worked till like 4 in the morning. So we all had these crazy different schedules. That's how it worked. Again, I think it looks bad to the average outsider, but I never so much as like shook hands with either one of them. Like we were totally plutonic in that way. There's nothing going on. I think the neighbors felt like that's so weird. This woman lives with them, but I just honestly wanted to live there because I thought there would be less drama than with female roommates. There actually wasn't, but I gave it a whirl. Um, but I only lived there for like about 2 months. But anyways, so not the owner of the house, but the other person was a resident physician, and he moved away for a while, and it was during the summertime. And because it was really hot that year, this was like July of 2018, I asked if I could sleep in his room while he was gone because it was the only room with an air conditioner. And this is like second floor, and it's like it just gets hot in the evening. It's a townhouse, it's not as well like insulated maybe. So, yeah. So, anyways, when I was staying in his room, I noticed, not that I was snooping, but I noticed in the garbage, in the waste paper basket in his room, I noticed that there were some empty pill bottles, and I couldn't help but just see, like, I want to see what these are, like, just curiosity. And they were empty, of course, but they were all these prescriptions. I was kind of surprised. There were, because he's a resident physician, there were all these prescriptions for Ativan, Klonopin, like lorazepam, like all these benzos. And like I know that he had been going through a really difficult time. Of course, this person will remain nameless, but I have, after knowing this person and sort of the drugs he was on, and yeah, he was going through a really difficult time, I don't know how I feel about some of these drugs, some of these benzos, because you know, I see the way that he acted, and I think the whole benzo thing is just from an outsider looking in. Obviously, I'm not a prescriber. I've never taken any myself. But just from observing the behavior this person has, I do wonder if it kind of it seems to sort of hurt a person in the long run. Like, that's my observation. Because if a person is really stressed out and they're just going to this pill to make them feel better, to make their anxiety go away, well, they're kind of just delaying the inevitable. As soon as you get off of that medication, like, you're gonna feel the pain of whatever you were trying to avoid. And I kind of like, in my observation, I think it makes the patient, whoever is prescribed it, I think it makes them kind of unstable, like kind of up and down, up and down. Um, More so than a normal person. But again, obviously not a prescriber. I've never been prescribed it myself, never taken it myself. But that's just kind of my observation, is that I don't know. It's worse. People tend to be worse off in the long run, I think. Um, and also, I know they're like super addicting drugs, but this is my last comment. And I know this has been going on, but I kind of question, like, who would prescribe this physician so many benzos? Like, I know he's a doctor himself. Obviously, he can't prescribe them for himself, but is, like, I kind of feel sometimes like maybe doctors are just like a professional courtesy. They prescribe things for each other that are, I don't want to say dangerous, but there's almost like an overconfidence that, like, oh, this person is a doctor, he can handle it. Because I was looking up online that for treatment for benzo addiction, like, it's almost I read that it's like 75% Caucasian and, like, or was it 75% men? I don't know. It's mostly Caucasian men who seek treatment for benzo addiction. And I don't know. This person, so people who maybe think they can handle it, like professionals or whatever. Yeah, but I do question, like, as an outsider looking in, like, are doctors, do they just kind of lower the rules for each other? Like, saying, oh, this person is a physician, he knows how much he can take, not realizing, like, oh, that person could easily get addicted, you know? So those are just my observations from an outsider.